Want to know how to make testing easy with GitHub? Have you heard of the new way to tame cloud complexity? And are you concerned about complexity and use JetBrains IntelliJ? Find out the answers to these and all other end-to-end full-stack DevOps, automation testing, performance testing, and security testing in this episode of the Test Guild News Show for the week of April 17th. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea and let's do this. This episode of the Test Guild News Show is sponsored by the awesome folks at Applitools. Applitools is a next-generation test automation platform powered by visual AI, which helps you increase quality, accelerate delivery, and reduce costs with the world's most intelligent test automation platform. But seeing is believing, so create your free account now by clicking on that very first link in the comment down below. And while you're there, why not leave a comment, and subscribe to get alerted every time we release a new episode. First up, automation news. Almost everyone I speak with nowadays usually are really into or really excited about GitHub Actions. So I was really happy to see this next resource from the folks at Applitools on making testing easy with GitHub. So this webinar is going to go over a bunch of different things, how you can leverage GitHub to help you with new ways to leverage GitHub, like improving test creation experience, including Copilot, which is the new AI paired program we've included in the show before. And GitHub Actions will also be covered. So as I said, I keep hearing more about GitHub Actions and GitHub. So if you aren't on board yet with GitHub Actions, or you want to know what all the fuss is about, this is definitely a must-watch webinar to learn more. So I've mentioned test containers a lot of times on this show, and I actually just heard about it last year, but I didn't realize that actually there's a new milestone that test containers just reached. And that is Test Container just hit their 7th birthday in open source. So thank you, Test Containers. Awesome. Great achievement. So in honor of Test Containers, they actually created a blog post on new milestones, new look, new release, and the same awesomeness of Test Containers. So it just goes over some of the origins of Test Containers and what's included in the latest release. Has a new Hive MQ module, has performance optimizations, and even better automatic resource cleanup, and a whole bunch of other improvements. So as I mentioned, I've been really up on test containers the past year or half a year. So definitely, if you haven't used them yet, or you're like me, you're just discovering them now, they've been around for 7 years. So it's a proven utility that helps a lot of different testers and developers. So definitely give it a try if you haven't already. And I'll have a link to this in the first comment down below. And have you heard there's a new version of Playwright out? And I just want to thank Patrick for posting this, because I didn't know there was a new version until I saw Patrick's post on LinkedIn, and he's saying he really loves version 1.21. So I'm like, okay, what is in version 1.21 that he loves so much? And when I go into the release notes, I see there's a new experimental role selector that allows selecting elements by the ARIA role, ARIA attributes, and accessibility names. I think it's a big development, because I actually hosted Applitools Future of Test and UX edition, and a bunch of different people brought up the ARIA attributes. So it's really great to see that Playwright now supports this. So if you're doing anything with accessibility testing, or you're using Playwright, definitely download that latest version. Let me know if you're as excited about it as Patrick is. And Patrick always seems to be doing some really cool things around automation and Playwright. So if you're following him, I highly recommend you follow him as well. Also on LinkedIn, I also noticed a new article on some thoughts on the multiple tab support that's available in Cypress. So Philip is a really well-known Cypress ambassador. I think he actually just came out with a new course or a new boot camp on it. So definitely check that out as well. But in this latest video training by Philip goes over how you can use multiple tab support in Cypress. So if that's a feature you're interested in, or you use Cypress, once again, something you should definitely check out as well. And also follow Philip and check out his courses and his training, because like I said, he's a really trusted trainer around Cypress. So definitely check him out, give him a follow. Next up, performance and site reliability news. All right, so first up, we've covered a lot about OpenTelemetry. So here's an article on how to deploy Splunk with OpenTelemetry. And this article just points out at the beginning that the poor application infrastructure performance really does have a big impact in the era of cloud computing, as service delivery models are more significant than ever. And with vast competition, customers will quickly be drawn to solutions that work and perform their best. And that's where Splunk's OpenTelemetry comes in. OpenTelemetry is a collection of tools, APIs, and SDKs used to instrument, generate, collect, and export telemetry data like metrics, logs, and traces to help you analyze your application's performance and behavior. And this article just goes bit by bit on how to use telemetry, how telemetry is collected, how to configure it, and a bunch of other helpful tips along the way. So if you're using Splunk and you're interested in open telemetry, definitely give that article a read for sure. In other SRE performance news, Datadog just released a new AI ML capability that enables IT teams to resolve application performance issues. So Datadog announced 2 capabilities for Watchdog, its AI engine, log anomaly detection and root cause analysis. And what's really cool is Watchdog analyzes billions of events and learns what normal behavior looks like in order to proactively provide insights to users for anomalies they did not anticipate. I see this definitely as a future, and it's definitely on trend and on point. And the new capabilities that they just built into Watchdog take this to a whole nother level. The log anomaly detection automatically understands and baselines normal patterns and logs and proactively discovers abnormalities such as new text patterns, meaningful changes in data volumes of existing patterns, and error outliers. So this really will help you quickly see and address hidden issues before they turn into really critical incidents. And also they have the root cause analysis, which helps you to automatically identify causal relationships between symptoms of an issue across an organization's service. So I think it's a really great use of AI and machine learning, especially with all the logs that you have to plow through. I think machine learning is a perfect place to be used in this type of product. So definitely check it out and let me know what you think. And are you trying to find a way to tame the cloud complexity? You probably find your way in as more and more companies go cloud native. I actually found a new open source tool I didn't know about. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me, called Salt, with some cool takes on how to make cloud computing easier. Tom Hatch, who is the creator of Salt, an open source project which is widely used to automate infrastructure configuration and management, believes that instead of writing scripts to automate events in the cloud services should do more of their own automation. And so his newly launched Idem project scans current cloud deployments and generates data that can be used to trigger remediation events with little human intervention. So as I mentioned, I didn't know what Salt was, so let's see what the heck Salt is. And cool, it looks like Salt project is an approach to infrastructure management built on dynamic communication bus, and Salt can be used for data-driven orchestration and remote execution for any infrastructure, configuration management for any app stack, and much more. And it's open source. So it's the first time of me hearing about the Idem project. So if you click on that, and if you click on Get Started, it actually has a nice overview of what exactly Idem is, and has some links to how to get started with it as well. So 2 resources that seem like a must, especially in the age now of automation when it moves just beyond testing into also automating infrastructure, treating infrastructure like code, and relying on automation to do its own thing as well to help you create quicker software, better and faster. Next up, security news. So I didn't find much news around security this week, but I did find an article that I thought you might be interested in, especially since I know a lot of people actually use JetBrains IntelliJ. So this next announcement is how Checkmarx SCA now is available as a native integration within JetBrains IntelliJ IDE Ultimate. And Checkmarx software composition analysis solution has been integrated directly into JetBrains through a free plugin to provide software composite analysis to IntelliJ Ultimate users. So this integration is easy to use, frictionless, and a secure plugin, and helps developers build more secure code without impacting the development cycle. And it focuses on inclusion of open source, direct and indirect, and application software stacks. So if you're using Checkmarx and you're using IntelliJ, I think it's obviously a plugin you should be using for sure. So for links of everything of value we covered in this news episode, head on over to the links in the first comment down below. And while you're there, make sure to check out our awesome sponsor, Applitools. And you support the show by creating a free account by clicking on that first link, and discover how to take your automation testing to the next level by leveraging visual AI. So that's it for this episode of the Test Skill News Show. I'm Joe, and my mission is to help you succeed in creating end-to-end full stack pipeline automation awesomeness. As always, test everything and keep the good. Cheers.